Let's turn to that fascinating development in Australia, where that country will ban children under 16 from using social media after its Senate approved the world's strictest laws. The ban, which will not take effect for about 12 months, could see tech companies fined up to $32.5 million Australian dollars if they don't comply. The Prime Minister says the legislation is needed to protect young people from the harms of social media, something many parental groups have echoed. So let's talk live on the programme to Dr. Fiona Scott, lecturer in digital literacies at the University of Sheffield. Welcome here to the programme. Your reaction to this development, it is a first.
Yeah, it's happened very quickly, and it's something that international experts, as well as child safety experts and mental health groups, have spoken out against, and also without the consultation of children and young people. So something that has come into pass very quickly. Clearly, there are a lot of anxieties about whether this could do more harm than good.
There's obviously anxieties and quite a lot of support from parents and campaign groups when you listen to them. What you've heard in terms of the practicalities, can it work on things like age verification?
Well, what I'm hearing is that it's not quite clear the methods they're going to use. There's a lot of discussion about things like facial recognition, or perhaps requiring people to have some sort of digital ID in order to sort of identify their age. In both cases, there are issues in terms of how much data is being collected about people. There are also issues in terms of these things, generally speaking, not working. So in France, they instigated a similar sort of ban, and it does seem to be the case that children are working their way around it, and in doing so going to parts of the internet that are not regulated.
Isn't one of the important areas and reasons for doing it at the moment, quite often these tech companies will point to the various controls and the parental controls that could be applied, but in a sense it is for the parents or the youngster to actually apply all of that. This puts the onus on the tech companies, and a lot of people think that is where the onus should be.
Yeah, I completely agree that the onus should be on the tech companies. And in the UK, the Online Safety Act has worked towards this idea of the digital duty of care, which is a really useful principle. It does put the onus back onto tech companies. Unfortunately, doing this through an age ban is something that hasn't been proved to be effective. There are other ways you can work on things like this. So, for example, targeting work at inappropriate content, and working with technology companies to find ways of protecting children from that sort of harm, rather than this kind of blanket ban, which is a huge piece of work to implement on very little sort of evidence that it will be effective.
Well, it's clearly one that a lot of people are watching. Fiona, we have to leave it there. Thanks for joining us on the programme.
Thank you.